Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we streamline massive research stacks into the essential knowledge you need instantly. Today, we're setting coordinates for Poland, specifically the northwest corner, to deep dive into a European city that is, well, astonishingly overlooked by international travelers.
Yeah.
Szczecin.
Veskin, pronounced Szczecin for anyone wondering. It really is the ultimate insider tip if you're craving an authentic, rich, and frankly affordable European city break.
Yeah.
Away from the usual crowds.
Absolutely. And you, our listener, are about to become the most well-informed person in the room about Poland's maritime hub and its slightly secret identity as the Paris of the North.
That's the plan.
Our mission today is simple. Give you the blueprint for a perfect first visit. We'll cover the history that shaped it, the architecture, which is fascinating, and of course, the essential local flavors.
Yeah.
But let's start with that Paris of the North thing, because that sounds a bit like, just marketing speak.
It's actually not. It's rooted in pure urban planning. The city center, Szczecin's core, has these really wide avenues, a radial layout, big dramatic roundabouts.
Okay.
It was explicitly modeled on the design principles Georges-Eugène Haussmann used when he completely redid Paris back in the 19th century.
Ah, right, Haussmann.
Exactly. And this planning gives Szczecin this unique, kind of grand metropolitan feel and makes it really walkable, which often surprises people. They expect a more typical Central European layout, maybe a bit more cramped.
And it's got a really dense, complicated past, too, hasn't it? I mean, reading up on it, Viking settlement, seat of the Griffin Dukes, then centuries under Sweden, Prussia, Germany.
Oh, yeah, it changed hands a lot. That long history kind of culminates or maybe collides with World War II. The city was almost completely destroyed, figures say about 80%.
80%? Wow.
So it had to fundamentally reinvent itself after the war.
And has it worked? What's it like today?
I'd say definitely. It's a major Polish city now. Nearly 400,000 people live there. But it still feels distinct, maybe a bit quieter, less tourist-heavy than, say, Krakow.
Okay. So if you're planning a visit, when's the best time?
Well, the shoulder seasons are usually best.
Yeah.
Late spring, like March through May, is fantastic. Not just for the weather, but there's this massive, really stunning crocus bloom that just carpets the parks. It's quite a sight.
Crocus is nice.
Or you could try early autumn, September to November. You get mild weather, and you miss the peak summer rush.
Good tips. Okay, logistics. Getting there. Does it have its own airport?
It does. Solidarity Szczecin-Golenio Airport. The code is SEZ. It's about 30 miles, maybe 47 kilometers northeast of the city itself.
Right, so a bit of a transfer.
Yes, but here's a really key travel hack, especially for European travelers. Szczecin is incredibly easy to get to from Germany, specifically Berlin.
Ah, okay. How close?
If you fly into Berlin Brandenburg Airport, that's BER, you're only about 90 minutes, maybe 2 hours tops, away by train or bus. It's a really smooth connection.
So for many people, flying to Berlin might actually be easier or cheaper.
Exactly. It's often the most practical entry point.
Got it. And once you're in Szczecin, you mentioned it's walkable because of that Haussmann design.
The city center definitely is very pleasant to walk around. But, to get to some other spots, maybe further out towards the water, you want to use the public transport. It's pretty good. 12 tram lines, about 70 bus routes.
70. Wow, that's comprehensive.
It covers the city well. And this brings us to maybe the best budget hack for the city.
Ooh, okay, let's hear it.
The Visit Szczecin card. You really need to get this. It gives you 50% off museum entry, which is already good.
Yeah, that's decent.
But the killer feature is it gives you free use of the entire municipal public transport system. Trams, buses, everything.
Wait, completely free? With the card?
Completely free.
That's huge. That saves so much hassle with tickets and figuring out zones.
Exactly. Just simplifies everything. So grab that card.
Yeah.
Then, for your first day, to get your bearings, look for the red route.
The red route? What's that?
It's the city tourist trail. Basically, it's a 7-kilometer walking path marked out by a red dotted line painted right there on the pavement.
Oh, that's clever. So you just follow the line.
You just follow the line. It connects, I think, 42 of the main historical sites and tour spots in a logical loop. Perfect for first-timers, especially in a city that was largely rebuilt and might feel a bit confusing otherwise.
That's brilliant. Solves the whole where do I even start problem.
It really does. And it guides you right through the heart of Szczecin's architectural story, which is all about this amazing contrast. You've got these old Gothic ruins right next to super modern, award-winning buildings.
Okay, let's talk about those buildings. What's the historical anchor?
That has to be the Pomeranian Duke's Castle. Zamek Szczecin Pomorskic. It was the seat of the old Griffin dynasty. Really powerful rulers back in the day.
Right, I've seen pictures. It's that big sort of white or beige building with green roofs.
That's the one. Renaissance style. You can wander the courtyards freely, definitely climb the bell tower for the views, and look out for the old astronomical clock inside. Dates back to 1693.
Wow, okay. And nearby?
Nearby is St. James Cathedral, Basilica Archicatedralna. Huge Gothic church, the biggest in the region, and actually the second tallest church in all of Poland.
Impressive. Can you go up?
You can. And conveniently, they've put in an elevator, take you right up to a viewing platform at 56 meters. You get these sweeping panoramic views over the old town, the Oder River. It's a must-do.
So the red route probably takes you past both of those.
Absolutely. And it also leads you smack into the city's modern icon, the Szczecin Philharmonic Hall.
Ah, yes, the iceberg. The pictures look incredible.
It really is something else. It looks like this glowing, translucent iceberg dropped into the city, ribbed glass facade. It's stunning.
It's quite a statement, isn't it?
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
This building wasn't just about adding a concert hall. It felt like Szczecin declaring itself as a new, forward-looking European cultural center, right next to the remnants of its past.
And it won a major award, right?
It did, the big one. The Mies van der Rohe Award in 2015 for the best contemporary building in the EU. You have to see it lit up at night. It changes colors. It's quite magical.
It sounds like there's this real tension in the architecture then. You have the super modern Philharmonic, but I also read that parts of the old town were rebuilt very traditionally after the war.
That's a really key point. It wasn't accidental. The reconstruction was politically charged. There was a conscious decision to rebuild certain areas in older styles, Gothic, Renaissance styles, that emphasized the period of the Griffin Dukes and the city's sort of Polish roots.
Rather than the styles from when it was German or Prussian?
Precisely. It was about reclaiming a narrative, choosing which history to highlight. The architecture itself tells this deep story about identity and, well, historical ownership. It's fascinating when you start looking for it.
Okay, and for the best overall city view, the postcard shot.
For that, you need the Łazikrobrego Promenade. It used to be called the Haken Terrace. It's this long, elevated terrace about 500 meters long, raised up 19 meters right on the waterfront.
And the view.
It gives you that perfect panorama. You see the Oder River, the port activity, and these big monumental buildings all around like the National Museum. It's the city's signature viewpoint, no question.
Right. Moving on from buildings, let's talk culture and maybe food. That history, especially the 20th century, must mean there are some powerful museums.
Absolutely. You have to start with the Dialogue Center upheavals, Centrum Dialogu Przyjomie.
Okay, what's the focus there?
It's an award-winning museum, partly underground, actually, and it focuses very specifically on Szczecin's really difficult 20th century story, the post-war period, the protests against communist rule, the solidarity movement that was strong here.
Ah, solidarity.
Yeah, and it brings you right up to Poland regaining its independence in 1989.
Yeah.
It really grounds you in the city's recent struggles and triumphs. It's quite moving.
Sounds essential. And for something maybe a bit lighter?
Then head over to the Museum Technology and Transport. It's housed in this huge historic tram depot from 1912.
Cool setting.
Yeah, and inside it's just a fun celebration of Polish and local transport history. They've got loads of Polish vehicles, cars, buses, trams. Look out for the tiny little Smike microcar.
A microcar.
Yeah, it's adorable. And they also have old Stower cars, which were actually made in Szczecin back when it was called Stettin before the war. You can even climb aboard some of the old trams. It's great fun.
Okay, I'm getting hungry now just thinking about all this walking. What's the must-try local food? Forget pierogi for a moment.
Right. The one thing you absolutely must try is pesteczek cieciski.
Pastisheks. Okay, what is it?
It's the city's iconic fast food. Think of it like maybe a savory Polish churro or a large deep-fried empanada made with yeasto.
Deep-fried yeasto. Sounds intriguing.
It is. It's usually filled with minced meat or sometimes mushroom and cheese. And crucially, it's traditionally served with a cup of clear, hot red borstiche beetroot soup to sip alongside it.
How interesting combination.
It works perfectly. And it's actually a protected EU product, specific to Szczecin. There's a famous place called Bar Pesteczek that's been serving them since 1969. You have to go.
Bar Pesteczek 1969. Noted. Any other local specialties?
Well, there's paprika szczycki. This is more of a fish paste or spread made with fish, rice, onions, tomato paste, spices. It's got a long history, kind of a staple you'd find in local homes. You'll see it in shops.
Apricars. Okay. And for an evening out, something unique.
You should definitely check out Kino Pioneer 1909.
A cinema.
Not just any cinema. According to Guinness World Records, it's the oldest continuously operating cinema in the
No
world.
way, since 1909.
Yep, still going.
Yeah.
And apparently sometimes they show films with live piano accompaniment, and you can have wine. It sounds like a wonderfully charming old world experience.
That sounds amazing. A piece of living history. Okay, let's shift gears a bit. The city also has another nickname, right? The Floating Garden.
It does. And that highlights its surprisingly green and watery side. It's easy to focus on the history and architecture, but water and green spaces, parks, squares, the river make up almost half the city's total area.
Half. That's a lot for a major city.
It really is. It contributes to that feeling of space, I think.
So where are the best green spots?
Well, there's Jasne Buonia Park. It's famous for having the largest concentration of plane trees or sycamore trees in Poland. And that's ground zero for those incredible crocus carpets in the spring we mentioned earlier.
Jasne Buonia. Okay.
And then there's something slightly unusual but quite beautiful. The Central Cemetery, Klimontar's Centralny.
A cemetery is a green space.
That sounds odd, but yes. It's actually the third largest cemetery in Europe. It's enormous, beautifully landscaped, full of trees and monumental sculptures. Because of its sheer size and park-like nature, locals genuinely use it like a vast, tranquil park for walking.
Huh. Okay, that's different.
And then a little outside the city center, you absolutely have to see Emerald Lake Jezioro Smaragdau.
Emerald Lake. Does it live up to the name?
It really does. It's a former chalk mine. And the water chemistry gives it this incredible, distinct turquoise emerald color. It looks almost unreal. It's a really picturesque spot for a walk.
That sounds lovely. And sticking with water, Szczecin is a major port, right? Even though it's not right on the coast.
Exactly. It's a major seaport connected to the Baltic Sea via the Oder River and the Szczecin Lagoon. It's about 60 kilometers, roughly 37 miles, inland from the actual sea. But the port is huge and very active.
And this gives us one of the best local nicknames, doesn't it?
Yes. The Craniosauruses.
Craniosauruses.
The huge old harbor cranes that still stand along the waterfront. Locals affectionately call them Craniosauruses. They do look a bit like giant metallic dinosaurs, especially when they're lit up at night.
Ah, I love that. That's great.
It's a perfect example of the city's sort of unique character and sense of humor.
So you get the river, the port, the cranes. But if you want actual sea air, sandy beaches.
Then Szczecin's the perfect base for a day trip. You can easily hop on a train to Świnoujście.
Świnoujście. Okay. What's special about it?
Well, for starters, it's the only city in Poland that's actually situated on islands. 44 of them, apparently.
44 islands.
Yeah, and it has Poland's widest sandy beach. Plus, you'll find the iconic Stoła Muni there, that famous windmill-shaped sea mark right by the water, and Poland's tallest lighthouse, a whopping 68 meters high.
So a proper seaside escape is really close by.
Very close. Easy day trip.
Okay, so let's pull this all together. For you, the listener, the curious traveler, what's the big takeaway on Szczecin? It really seems like this authentic, affordable, and just deeply rewarding place. You get this rich mix of history, that striking Haussmann-inspired layout, the world-class modern stuff like the Philharmonic.
Plus the unique food like the pasteczek, those huge green spaces, the maritime vibe.
It genuinely sounds like an underrated European gem, a real alternative to the much more crowded, maybe more expensive capitals.
I completely agree. It offers so much density of experience for someone willing to look just slightly off the main tourist track.
And maybe a final thought for people to chew on as they explore.
Yeah, something to think about. As you're standing there, maybe on the Washi Krobrego Promenade, taking in the views, admiring the castle, the modern Philharmonic. Reflect on how this city is constantly negotiating its own identity.
How so?
That decision we talked about, rebuilding parts of the city center in specific historical styles, deliberately choosing the Griffin-Duke era over the Prussian or German periods. That wasn't just about aesthetics.
Right, it was a statement.
It's a highly intentional political and cultural choice happening right now. The buildings you see aren't just static history. They represent an active, ongoing conversation Szczecin is having with itself about which parts of its very turbulent past it wants to carry forward, which story it wants to tell today. It's fascinating to witness.